Many individuals deliver a product or service at a level that is often less than acceptable. They make excuses and then attempt to convince others to accept the shoddy work they've done. There are numerous examples of badly tiled bathrooms, badly made furniture, badly delivered service. This failure to deliver competence becomes dangerous when it occurs in professions responsible for lives, such as nursing and medicine, and also for the professions that train the next generation, such as teaching. This means that one of the hallmarks of a reformer is competence, the ability to exhibit professional competence in the sphere of society you feel called to transform. There's a simple definition that I like of the word competence, and it is the ability to do something successfully and efficiently. Successfully and efficiently. Another definition says it is a cluster of related abilities, commitments, knowledge, and skills that enable a person or an organization to act effectively in a job or situation. Competence indicates sufficiency of knowledge and skills that enable someone to act effectively in a wide variety of circumstances. What makes an individual competent? What separates a competent person from an incompetent one? There is the convergence of 4 qualities. And I mentioned in the mini course on competence that these 4 qualities, the convergence of these 4 qualities include superior knowledge, that's one. Secondly, innate and acquired skills. Thirdly, core values. And the fourth, a sterling attitude. In this course, I'm going to go a little deeper. I will repeat some of the key points that I made in the mini course for emphasis. The first key point is the hedgehog principle in Jim Collins' book, Good to Great. Why some companies make the leap and others don't. In this book, he states very clearly that what one's goal should be is to be the best at what one is good at, the very best at what one is good at. And to be the best, you have to create time to acquire knowledge and enhance your skills in a very deliberate and intentional way. Malcolm Gladwell, in his own book, Outliers, names it the 10,000 hour rule. He says that it takes roughly 10,000 hours of practice to achieve mastery in a field. To become world-class at a particular sport, musical instrument, or art, he found that carrying out the action over and over again until you put in 10,000 hours gets you to a level of competency that makes you stand out. He illustrates this very clearly by citing the research that a team of psychologists in Berlin studied in violin students in the 1990s. These psychologists studied the practice habits of these students in childhood, adolescence, and adulthood. All of the participants in the research were asked this one question. Over the course of your entire career, ever since you first picked up the violin, how many hours have you practiced? All of the violinists began playing at roughly 5 years of age, with similar practice times. However, at age 8, practice times began to diverge. By age 20, the elite, the very top performers, averaged more than 10,000 hours of practice, while the less able performers had only 4,000 hours of practice. The elite performers had more than double the practice hours of the less capable performers. So there was a clear difference between the number of hours they put in and the performance level. Raymond Highwater, in his own article on this same book, The Outlier, he observed this. He said, one fascinating point of the study was that no naturally gifted performers emerged. If natural talent had played a role, we will expect to see some of the naturals float to the top of the elite level with fewer practice hours than everyone else. But the data showed otherwise. The psychologists found a direct statistical relationship between hours of practice and achievement. There were no shortcuts. There were no naturals. It was the effort and the time that they put in that made them the best of the best. So where do you start as a young reformer? How do you become the best in class? I see several action steps that you can take immediately. The first, make the decision to be the best. you have to take that decision to be the best in class for knowledge, the best in class for skills, the best in class in respect of values and attitude. I sense that there are certain skills that are almost mandatory for a reformer. You've got to be able to write objectively, communicate effectively through various mediums. You've got to be comfortable with writing, with speaking, with visuals, and then the ability to think critically, the ability to formulate strategy, manage people, and manage projects. At another level, which is becoming increasingly important, is the development of social and emotional skills. Socially competent reformers know how to cooperate with each other. They know how to be helpful to others. They understand their own feelings and the feelings of others and how to resolve problems on their own. They know how to manage conflicts. All these are part of the repertoire of skills that make you more effective. Second, you need to take the decision to equip yourself. So best in class, and now take the decision to equip yourself. Become a lifelong learner. One of the buzzwords of the 21st century is lifelong learning. For a reformer, these words are not buzzwords. No, they're not. It's important to create a lifestyle of learning. You never stop reading. You never stop researching, listening to others, watching. Develop a mindset of discovery and adventure. Enjoy learning. Enjoy knowing what's going on. Enjoy acquiring additional knowledge in your field, in your area of interest. I encourage you, take responsibility for your own journey of lifelong learning. Don't wait for anyone to teach you, to equip you. Take responsibility. Learning in the 21st century is easier than ever before. That's why, for example, you are on this online course. There's so many numerous online training and equipping programs that are now available. Avail yourself of what is freely available. There's a very good friend of mine, a remarkable woman that has reached the very top of her career as a medical doctor. She's a co-owner of a private clinic for almost 2 decades and is now establishing an organization that has the key objective of educating the poor on health issues. She and her reform team take very complex medical issues and break it down in simple terms, using the media to freely teach those who cannot afford to receive the education that will save their lives. This woman has a goal of doing a course on Udemy or Coursera every quarter. These are online training organizations. Both of these online learning platforms are structured to provide innovative learning experiences at minimal cost and sometimes at no cost. Udemy, for instance, has available over 40,000 courses taught by expert instructors, and every course is available on demand, so you can watch it anytime, anywhere. You can learn at your own pace. You can learn on any device. So it's important that you avail yourself of what truly is freely available. In business school, I recall the advice given of reading a book a week. And if this is not realistic because of your commitment, time, at least a book a month. It's so important. Now, the third step, we've looked at 2. The third step you can take is to surround yourself with the best. Seek a community of competent people that you can be a part of, a group of competent people that you can work with. This is like an athlete training for the Olympics. To be the best, the athlete cannot afford to run with anyone less than the best, or else he or she will be ill-prepared to win on the very big day when it matters most. So I encourage you, look for people with your level of passion, your commitment to excellence. Look for people who are not daunted by what it takes to be the best in class. Hear me, you cannot afford to resent or be envious of those you perceive to be better or more competent than you. The spirit of a reformer is not competitive. It is honoring. It applauds and it celebrates others. So closely tied to this is the 4th step, developing a lifestyle of excellence. Excellence is not perfection, and it does not happen overnight. It is a commitment to being outstanding or extremely good, doing your life work excellently at a price. What you do with your time and how you deliver on your goals will determine your level of competence. Let me give you an example. Channels Television is an independent news TV channel in Nigeria that was founded in 1992. that started as a dream in the hearts of two outstanding broadcasters, John and Shola Momo. 2 decades later, Channels TV has won the Television Station of the Year award for a record 10 times, 5 of them consecutively. This makes Channels TV the most awarded television station in Africa. They raised the bar in television broadcasting and they stayed true to their vision and their mission. They hired the best and invested in their development. They took being excellent in what they do very seriously and they pursued it until they achieved it. This television station is the first point of reference and confirmation of breaking news stories in Nigeria by Nigerians and Africans in diaspora. The 5th step, which is like the glue that ties all this together, is hard work. Yes, you can take the decision to be the best, but if you do not put in the hard work, and you're not disciplined, you're not self-motivated and able to exercise self-control, the dream of becoming best in class will remain just that, a dream. So I encourage you, remember the 10,000 hour practice rule and become the best in class. Now let's look at 4 key competencies that you need to develop. These are competencies that you need to get good at, you need to become effective at, and the 4 of them is 1. Strategic competence, operational competence, sales or marketing competence, and collaborative competence. And as you work on each of these 4, you will become an effective, game-changing reformer. Now let's look at the discipline of execution, becoming good at the art of doing. One of the areas many of us are weakest at is our ability to execute. As I mentioned earlier, I served 3 ministers of education over a period of 6 years. This experience opened a window of opportunity to see how government works, and I was able to observe the endemic struggle many have to contend with on a daily basis to get the job done. It's not about talking, it's about doing. And not everyone has the ability to execute and achieve results. 2 authors, Lawrence Bossidy and Ram Charan, in their book Execution, The Discipline of Getting Things Done, it's a great book. They assert in that book that getting results is an outcome of the consistent practice of the discipline of execution. Learning how to get things done and making things happen is a skill that you can learn, and it will do you good to learn this skill early. So let me share a few simple steps that you can take, a 5-step process that I have found yields results. The first is identify the task or project that you want to embark on. Give it a name. So there's something you want to do, name it. When you give a name to something, either an activity or even an object, it receives life. It becomes a substance that you can describe, that you can shape. By naming it, the task or project now holds you accountable. It's almost like you've named me, I'm alive, you've got to pay me some attention. So it demands your attention until you accomplish or you abort it. The more tasks or projects you execute, the better you get at the art of execution. It's all about practice, practice, and more practice. The second step is to break the task or project into sub-tasks and clearly write down all the action steps. What is written is never forgotten. It also gives you a comprehensive to-do list that you will find invaluable. This to-do list is like erecting signposts that point in the direction you need to go. They are like the markers on a map that will lead you to your desired destination. So it's important that you have an effective to-do list because, like I said, it leads you to where you want to go to. The third step is identify what you need to complete the task. How much time do you need to allocate to it? The skills that you require, the resources required in terms of people who can help you, and if necessary, the seed money to fund the project or task. The fourth is hold yourself accountable. Surround yourself with people who will support and encourage you. Develop zero tolerance for missed tasks. Don't be too hard on yourself, but at the same time, don't get complacent. So now the fifth process, the fifth step in the process. Collaborate if you need to in order to get things done. Collaboration, collaboration, collaboration. Collaboration strengthens the process. In all of this, I hope you're beginning to see the bigger picture as a young reformer. the need for you to grow in knowledge, and as you grow in knowledge, you grow in impact. Passion can only take you so far. You need to be good at what you do. And being good, being excellent, will require your commitment and your time. And it will require you being disciplined and exerting self-control. So let me introduce you to a reformer in action, Rotimi Williams. He's a 35-year-old entrepreneur, and he owns one of the largest rice farms in Africa. He has received a great deal of media attention in recent times, and his rice farm sits on 45,000 hectares, employing more than 600 individuals. This young man, after secondary school, proceeded to do a first degree at the University of Aberdeen in the United Kingdom, where he graduated with a degree in economics. He stayed back and did another degree, a master's degree, in the same subject, economics, in the same university. A few years later, he enrolled for yet another master's degree at the School of Oriental and African Studies, London, where he got an MSc in Finance and Development Studies. Today, he is in rice farming. Rotimi actually started his working career in the financial services industry, but he was drawn into agriculture. And by sheer determination and passion, he now owns the second largest commercial rice farm in his country. When asked how he learned about farming, as many think that perhaps you need a special degree in agriculture to be a farmer, Rotimi Williams says, "I always tell them the truth. I learned it all on Google. I downloaded every article I could find on rice production. I consumed all the articles and then practiced it in the fields." He went online, did his research, and then put it into practice. A reformer's mindset is constantly refreshed and renewed by new knowledge and new skills, whatever it will take to deepen competence. A reformer's mindset is one that is inquisitive, and by staying at the cutting edge of information, it stays relevant and it stays sought after. Remember, you've got to be good at it. Your assignment after listening to this video is to complete a template of required skills for your chosen sphere, your chosen area of impact, and then truthfully do an assessment of what skills you have and the skills that you do not have. And that will create a skills gap grid for you. After doing this, honestly doing this, create a plan to address the gaps. Develop an action plan that will take you step by step, acquiring the skills and the knowledge that you need. And like I said, it's all freely available, and sometimes you just need to pay a little something to get the knowledge and the skills that you require. So I wish you the best of luck as you embark on being the best in class.